Hello, I'm Sarah from sarahbyoga and welcome to your YouTube class today. We're going to be joined by Suki the cat, who is very interested by the tree that I've just brought into the house today. Hopefully she won't climb it and knock it down. I'm going to lead you through a snippet of the class that I'm going to be teaching tomorrow in the final module of my Yoga Teachers Mentorship Program. I'm going to be leading them through a 4-week unit on how to teach workshops and retreats, and every month I give them a sequence. This is going to be slightly more advanced poses and more advanced transitions, but I'm going to take you through it really slowly. So bear with me. If you've done a little bit of yoga, you've been practicing yoga pretty consistently for a good 6 months or so, stay with me and have a bit of fun with this sequence. And remember that you can take poses as far as you want, or maybe back off a little bit, depending on your range of motion and any injuries that you might have. Let's begin. You don't need any props, by the way. All you need is your mat. And I would also really like to hear how it goes, so please do leave a comment in the box below, and do also think about becoming a patron, because I do so much more than these YouTube classes. On Patreon I offer you a lot more support. You get discount codes, you get access to all the other things that I do, including a free monthly class that's live and I can see you and help you. So do have a look at the link to patreon.com/sarahbyoga for more information on more stuff that I do. Meanwhile, let's do some yoga. So please come to hands and knees. I'm quite excited about this sequence. Taking things a little bit further than we normally do, but again, slow and steadily. So from here, like you're on train tracks, bring your knees behind your wrists, your feet behind your knees, and round your back. So very simple cat pose, a pose that you're probably very familiar with, not just from my classes, but this is often a go-to with lots of yoga teachers. It's a nice way to stretch and lengthen the muscles on the back and firm and tone the abdominal muscles, get them fired up. Okay, and then from here, lift up your sitting bones, come into a back bend and extension. Keep this. Tuck your toes under and go into downward facing dog. So look down at your mat. Keep your knees bent to begin with. And when you're ready, squeeze your legs straighter and stronger, stretching the backs of your knees. And then in the spirit of warming up relatively quickly before we come into a nice segment that we'll be repeating, a little vinyasa krama, come forward into plank. Again, slightly round your back here. Keep your pelvis and your hips nice and buoyant, almost at the level of your shoulders here. And then slowly come all the way down to the floor. You can bring your knees down if you need to first. Then curl up into cobra. Keep your pubic bone on the floor, squeeze your legs, and then go back into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under and press back. Let's do that again. Come forward into plank. Come all the way to the floor. So you're not doing chaturanga, you're not pausing, you're going all the way down. Curl up again into cobra, downward facing dog. Now put a little bend into your knees and look forwards. Then walk your feet to the top of the mat, and as soon as you get here, bring your hands out to the sides and come all the way up to standing. Look up at your hands, reach up and stretch up, and then fold forward again. Uttanasana. Inhale, raise your chest, look up for Ardha Uttanasana, and walk back again into plank. Do bring your knees down to the floor this time. Come halfway down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Stay here, press your hands back towards your knees so your body weight moves forwards between your hands. Then bring everything down. Curl up again into cobra, downward facing dog. Bring your 2 feet together. Raise your right leg up for 3-legged dog, and then maybe a little higher than you normally do, but try and have the kneecap and the toe tips pointing down. Then step forward, bring your back knee down, come to Anjaneyasana, bring your arms out to the side, raise your arms up, look up, bring your hands together. Now try and keep looking up if you can as you pick up your back knee. If you know that you're going to get too wobbly, then look forwards or look down. 3, 2, 1. Now do touch down and go back to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together again. Raise the left leg up, 3-legged dog, and again, possibly a little higher than you normally do. Squeeze the right buttock in. Then step that left foot forward, bring your back knee down, Anjaneyasana again. Make sure your back toes are tucked under. Again, you can look forward or look up, bring your hands together, push both feet down, reach your heart up to your thumbs, push your thumbs up to the sky. And then from here, pick up that back knee, look forwards, touch down, go back to downward facing dog. Put a little bend into your knees, walk your hands halfway back towards your feet, and then walk your feet forwards so that you're in the middle of the mat in Uttanasana. We're not going to stay here, come up to standing, bend your knees, bring your arms all the way up, bring your hands together, and bring your hands into your heart, and then down by your side. Now, turn so that you're looking at the long edge of the mat and come to the left-hand side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, come into tree pose. Turn that right leg out, bring your leg up as high as you can, squeeze the standing leg really straight, and then reach your arms out to the side like you do when you're in Warrior Two. Then look at your right knee, step your foot a little bit further than halfway down the mat. Make sure the toes are pointing straight forwards and come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Lean down, bring your hand below your knee, your thumb inside, your fingers outside, pull up, reach up with the top hand, and then turn and look up at that top hand as you squeeze your legs strong. Now, keep your arms like this, in this relationship with your shoulders, and come into half moon. So, bend the front knee, step the back foot forward, take a few more steps if you need to. Look down or challenge yourself. Look to the right, look to the left rather, possibly even look up. Separate the back toes. Now we're going to do standing splits. Take your time, bring the right hand down slowly, firm your abdominal muscles, drop the right hip so it points down towards the floor. Then bend your front knee really deeply, the right knee. Step back to the back of your mat, bring the back knee down, come back into Anjaneyasana, bring your arms up. As you inhale, pick up your back knee. You're going to come to Warrior Three from here, so you can bring your hands down by your sides, or if you want to be a little bit more challenged, keep your arms by the sides of your head. 3, 2, 1. Now bring your left fingertips down to the floor, right underneath your left shoulder. Bring your right arm out to the side and twist in twisted half moon. So turn your belly and chest towards the right. 3, 2, 1. Bring that right hand back down again. Go back to Anjaneyasana. Bend that front knee deeply. Step back with the back foot. Bring the back knee down. Bring your arms up overhead. Downward facing dog. Bring your hands down, pick up the back knee and step the right foot back. Then from here, walk your feet halfway up the mat. Bring your hands back to meet your toes. Bend your knees, bring your arms out to the sides, come all the way up. Look at your hands, bring them together. Bring them down in towards your heart. Now walk forwards and turn. So you're now on the right hand side of the mat. And turn the left knee out so that you come back into Vrikshasana, tree pose, on your left side. Reach your arms out wide. Step the left foot forward for Trikonasana. Bend your right knee. Come down. Pull the hand up towards the kneecap. Push your hips towards your right foot. Push the left foot down firmly, particularly the base of the big toe and the inner heel. Half moon, Adho Chandrasana. Look at your left foot. Step your back foot forward. If you can do this in one step, be my guest. Otherwise, take as many little steps as you need. Bring your left hand just below the left shoulder, not out to the left too much. Standing splits. Bring your right fingertips down. Drop the right hip so that it's parallel to the floor with the left hip. Then twisted half moon. Bring your left arm out to the side. Turn your belly and chest. I've got a wall in the way here, hopefully you don't. You can bend the standing knee if you need to, by the way. Then from here, bring your fingertips down, walk your hands back to either side of that front foot and step back again into Anjaneyasana. Bring the back knee down, arms out to the sides, bring your arms up, hands together, pierce the ceiling with your fingertips. And from here, come into downward facing dog. Touch down, step back. Then from here, bring your 2 feet together and walk your hands back towards your feet and bend your knees deeply so that you come into a squat. Hover your arms and balance. Twist to your left, squeeze your knees together, try and keep your torso up. Hands float in the air. Come back to center, twist to your right, squeeze your knees together, twist a little bit more. Come back to center and come up to standing. And bring your hands down by your sides. Walk to the top of the mat. Turn so that you've got that right hand side clear. Bring your hands onto your hips and come back into tree pose. Turn the right leg out. So we're going to repeat that sequence. Familiarity, repetition. See how it goes this second time. We're not going to speed it up. Trikonasana. So step that right foot forward. Come into your triangle pose. Maybe the hand comes a little lower this time, possibly. Half moon. Step the back foot forward, as many steps as you need. Standing splits. Bring your left hand down, drop that left hip. Keep your abdominal muscles really engaged here. Bring that right arm out to the side. Bring your hand down, go back into Anjaneyasana. So bend the right knee deeply, step back with the left foot. Bring your arms all the way up. We're going to add on something here, which I meant to do in that first sequence. Pick up your back knee, separate your hands, come into warrior 3. So from here, take a big step forward. And then step back again. And come into downward facing dog. Touch down. Come forward into plank. Come all the way down to the floor. Curl up into cobra. Go into downward facing dog. Put a bend in your knees. Look forwards. Walk your feet all the way to the top of the mat. Come up to standing. Bring your hands together. And then separate them and bring them down by your sides. Take a quarter turn. So you now have got the mat all the way to the left side of your body. Come into tree pose with your left leg. Warrior 2 arms. Look at your left knee. Trikonasana. Keep the right knee bent as a shock absorber as you land. Straighten both legs. Look up if you can. Half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Bring your right hand down, drop the right hip, firm the abdominal muscles. Twisted half moon, bring your left arm out to the side. Remember, you can bend the standing leg if you need. Firm your abs. Bring that left hand down, walk your hands back to either side of that foot. Anjaneyasana. Step back, bring your back knee down. Sweep your arms out to the side. Look up, bring your hands together. Separate your hands, pick up your back knee. Warrior 3. Look forwards, step forwards. 3, 2, 1. Step back to high lunge. Downward facing dog. Touch down, step back. Come forward into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. You can bring your knees down if you need. Inhale, curl up to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now bend your knees and step your feet together. Walk your hands back. Come back into that squat that you did before. Hover your arms. Now this time, interlace your fingers, stretching your forearms, push your hands ahead of you, showing the palms of your hands to the wall in front, the wall ahead of you. Then turn your palms towards you, bring your hands down to the floor. For Bakasana, bring your right arm over onto the outside of your left thigh. Bring your right hand a little bit more out to the side. Stay with this. Or bring your left hand down to the floor and your right hand too. stay with this. Especially if you don't know this pose, just keep your hands on the floor. Or put more body weight into your hands, lift your chin, transfer a lot more weight onto your hands, keep your feet on the floor. Or as you drop the left ribs and lift the right ribs, possibly float your feet up to come into Bakasana. Separate your toes, press your feet together. If you're up, come down, and then do the other side. I'm just going to shift here because the wall's in the way for me. Pick up your arms, bring your left hand down to the floor, flat. Twist. Bring the right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Bring your hand to the floor. This might be where you stay. Stay with this. There's a lot to work with here as you press your leg into your arm. Or move your body weight more forwards. Claw the mat with your fingertips. Lift your chin so you don't fall on your face. Possibly float the feet. Be wise here. Don't jump. Be very aware of the limitations in your body. Slowly come down if you're up. And then from here, bring your knees down to the floor. Tuck your toes under. Bring your hands back onto your heels, both at the same time, to come into Ustrasana, Camel pose. Lift your heart. 3, 2, keep your hands on your hips if this isn't doable. 1, take both your hands up at the same time. Bring your hands down to the floor and come into Shavasana. So very quick, intense sequence that. Bring your elbows down. If you found it challenging but interesting, keep coming back to this. Now putting all ambition aside, and also please, all feelings of inadequacy. We don't get better at anything unless we're challenged, but sometimes that can be, as you can hear, I'm out of breath. Sometimes that can be, depending on our mood, it can be a little bit dispiriting. So notice if you're feeling that, and please, I encourage you to put any of those negative feelings aside. You only get better at yoga poses, you only get more agile and stronger and more aware the more you practice. So just keep coming back to this. So, Shavasana, lengthen your legs. Please do stay here for 1 minute. I'm going to, and I'm going to tell you when it's time to come out. Soften your entire body. Relax your arms and your legs. Soften your face. I'm going to be quiet now for another 30 seconds or so. Let go. Now feel very welcome to stay here longer. Just turn over and press your pause button. Or come out with me by bending one knee and then the other knee, bringing the soles of your feet to the floor. Then roll over onto one side, it doesn't matter which, and rest your head in your upper arm. Keep your eyes closed. Then push down one hand and then the next. Bring yourself up to sit. You can sit cross-legged or kneeling, however you prefer. Sit tall, sit with strength, but also sit with ease. Bring your hands to your heart. Lower your chin so it touches your fingertips. Take a deep breath here. And then do it again. Inhale deeply. And exhale steadily. And breathe normally. Bring your hands onto your legs, gently press them down, lift your chin, open your eyes. Namaste. Well done. And as I said before, as you were coming into Shavasana, keep coming back to this. If you felt like it was an interesting challenge and you'd like to get better at those transitions, moving from triangle pose to half moon, it's challenging at first, but it steadies your balance, it hones your balance. It helps to make you more agile, and it really connects the body and mind. And you might even notice here that as you're moving your body through these very challenging transitions and poses, you can't think about anything else. It's a meditation and a focus in itself. So if that works for you, if you enjoy that, keep doing this, keep doing yoga, and become a patron. Namaste. Take care. What are you doing, Suki?